Welcome everyone to a new episode of, or what will become, our new show, daily show, Weather Coverage Live. My name is David Vela, located here in Houston, Texas. This is what will be the beginning of our new rebrand that is expected to be finished by January the 6th. Um, so obviously that is happening. Big time deal. This is going to be our new show where we do pretty much an hour of coverage, and we just all we do is just talk about the weather, what it's looking like, etc. And this is gonna be the beginning of our uh, launch, our new campaign, Disaster Central TV. And yeah, so let's get straight into it. This is how our show will be looking like. Um, Obviously, this is our blue mode setup. But there it is. Welcome to Weather Coverage Live. Obviously, um, it's quite interesting. I don't know if you guys like it. I'm sure you guys like it. If not, if you do like it, let us know below how you feel about this. But let's get straight into it. Let's just talk about what the weather. Um, so obviously, our biggest source of activity right now is happening in Michigan, Wisconsin, uh, and Canada. And what we're seeing here right now is we're seeing some like the midst of a winter storm that is going towards Canada, and obviously with this winter storm, and you can see here going straight closer in towards. I don't know why I'm lagging like that. Sorry about that. And you can see here that if you can see here pretty much rainfall coming in towards um sorry, I'm trying to work things out. Let's get rid of temperatures. You can see our bar here. I don't know. I'm not sure if you can actually see it, but um, here is just the weather, and you can see here we have pretty good, decent amount of snow coming out in towards our area. Not our area, but just in towards the Green Bay area. And let me just really quickly see what I can do about. Um, I apologize. I'm still. This is all testing, so um, just stand by with me. I'm trying to work things out because for whatever reason doesn't want to cooperate with me. Uh, let's see. There it is. There it is. There it is. So, um, you can see some snow going on down here. I don't know why it doesn't want to work. Uh, so that's one here. We do have winter weather advisories. I believe these are winter weather advisories. For if it'll work. I'm trying to retrieve these for you. We do have, yeah, winter weather advisories for the cities, or just in general for Marquette, uh, Gorbic, Iron, and Dickinson counties in this is Minnesota, no, Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, uh, and this is of course because they're expecting 2 to 3 inches of snow. Uh, Now this does expire in about 2 hours because the last bits of the snow is moving out, and you can see if we go in towards say for example Morin Township, zooming in. See snow accumulating, and you can actually witness the precipitation change there from rain to snow. The temperatures will be dropping tonight till around 20 degrees in these portions of the area, and that is interesting. Still seeing if Nightbot works, but apparently not. Um, Additionally, uh, yeah, hold on. Let's go real quick. Just all right, we're back. And this is what we mean. And let's go. Let me just. And this is what I mean. This is what we're showing you. We're showing you the loop for this system. In the towns, there's a ton of towns in this um mess, but you can see the rain transitioning into snow around here, and you can see the darker blues. The darker blues are the heavier bits of snow. There's one band going straight towards Dollarville, uh, Naubawak. Sorry if I pronounced those names. Um, and you can see there, and you can see here, there's just that band of snow, just one thing. And this one's actually, if we zoom in closer, you can see uh, Ministik, Thompson, uh, Hiawatha, they're seeing snow there. The next people that are going to be in the next in for the band will be Germfask, Sini, McMillan, Dollarville, Holbert, uh, and Gandine, Nobbinway. These areas will be seeing this band of snow pretty much go into that way directly. But I think what's interesting is this will be freezing rain. But we are seeing like full on snow. Uh, and that transition is actually pretty this transition is pretty noticeable. You can see normally what you'll get out of these is some of those darker blues like here, but or maybe pinks, but we're not seeing that right now. So that's in Michigan. Going closer to like Milwaukee, it's the wrong part. Towards Milwaukee, you'll see a big band of rain, and you can see behind it, actually behind it, you can see a little bit of a mix near this will be near Stockbridge, just a few just a few miles off of this coastline. Uh, a little bit of a mix here, maybe between some snow and rain, maybe some freezing rain. Could be. Uh, maybe a little bit of a mix, just given those colors. There's more developing back here, but just in general, you're seeing that transition there. Going towards. There's no warnings out, so there's not many warnings out. We go towards the Grand Rapids radar, and you'll see more of the story. And let's switch this in towards reflectivity. Show you how strong some of these storms can be. What you're seeing out in the yellow is some moderate rain, some moderate precipitation. Uh, so obviously Grand Rapids about to be hit by some showers, some thunderstorms perhaps. Um, but you're seeing you're seeing it here. You're seeing it here. There's some strong, maybe a little bit of development that's forming off here, and pretty much telling on where it's going. This is going straight that way, straight towards the east. So the coastline, uh, like portions like in Dalton, Twin Lakes, Bridgeton, you'll be getting hit by this storm. If you're in the Grand Rapids or just really anywhere in this area, the timing for you will vary, but this is going to be a multi-hour progression of thunderstorms that just push off. And this is all associated with that low pressure system here. And the more northernly you go, so the more northernly you go, and we go back to that old radar, let's go back to the Gaylord radar in Michigan. The more northernly you go, the more of a mix you begin to see. You begin to witness that snowy mix happening. There it is. And this obviously is a pretty decent band of thunderstorms, but because this is moving more towards the north, associated with that low pressure system that's over here, you're going to start seeing that transition over here. And this is where the freezing temperatures are at. Uh, So that's really what we're beginning to see out in the north. General look for, let's say, I don't know. Let's look at New York, just a general, why not New York? Let's see what New York has. Not much in New York. Uh, the more northern you go, a few storms off here, maybe a few showers, an occasional shower or thunderstorm. Um, yeah, just a few showers moving towards the south. Scranton's about to be hit. Birmingham, you're going to be getting a piece of this. And it's just generally moving towards the south. So that's pretty much where you're going to start seeing that storm happen. Now, this is a pretty developing line, and you can see it's developing because you're getting that straight line on the leading edge of that storm system. Uh, so that's that. If you do have any questions, by the way, folks, we'll be answering them. Don't be afraid to ask them below. Going more towards the west, near Colorado, where a bunch of winter storm warnings and watches are at. Um, it is cold. Snow is falling. Uh, Snow is falling on where the mountains are at, but a little burst of rain is beginning to form off here. Let's zoom into this radar. Where is this at? Let's go to the KICX radar. And this is what we're on about. Here it is. Big portions of snow going in towards uh, Pagwitch, you're getting some. Circleville getting some. Freeman getting some. Teasdale getting some. Boulder getting some. Escalante getting some. The next areas in line will probably be a lot of rural areas around here. And eventually, and you're beginning to see that convection, that switch. And that's because the temperatures are beginning to cool off, and that's going to be part of the winter storm system, and one of the next winter storm complexes uh, that will form. So let's go. Let's just quickly, just let me just pause this quickly, and let me switch to. Uh, there we go. If you hear the detector, ignore that. Apologies for that. Um, I can't. I cannot. I now I can't find it. Okay, maybe this was it. Okay, so just hold on. I am going to be bringing you some of the forecasts and what the models are saying. Truly. So let's go straight towards the forecast, and you can see transitioning there. Some of the forecast models. We're going to be specifically looking at um, the GFS and the European model, but our headlines look like this. This is the GFS model, folks, and we'll be pretty much laying off the loop. And let me just see how this looks like there. Yeah. So what you're looking at is the forecasted radar, and this is gonna be for the next week. Um, and pretty much it goes off here. And let's just right now you can see in California, not much. Let me and actually let me do the draw. See, I can draw on this page. Can I draw? Okay. So you obviously have this low pressure system here. Um, low pressure system here. Over what's going to happen eventually is this is going to start moving a little bit more towards that northerly side, meaning that we're going to be open up for an area of pretty dangerous weather here between tomorrow, Wednesday, and potentially even Thursday. So this area in the red that I'm shading, well, shading bad, but this area will begin to see that um, severe weather threat. As we go on further, you can see that's what we mean. Here, this is about 12 hours from now, 3Z, and you're seeing again that convection forming off here. You can see that little echo type thing. Um, and see up here, you can see up in Canada where a lot of that snow will be at. Now, if you're watching here in this part of the west of the coast, this part of America, let me just quickly return that. Here is your transition point for snow, and transition point for snow, and eventually what's going to begin happening is as this system begins moving off this way, you'll start seeing a big influx of rain if you're in Southern California. Uh, A big influx of rain if you're in Oregon. Just in general, a lot of precipitation for that west coast. Now, again, this area will be very, very modest, very warm. Some areas here, like obviously here, where in Montana, the Dakotas, uh, Minnesota, those areas will begin to see some warm. Will be very cold. Um, and as we continue further on watching this model, and this is gonna let's go all the way to Thanksgiving. So all the way to Thanksgiving, and you see a little system, by the way, a little system forming off of Colorado. And then what happens is it goes off. So Texas might see some snow. Northern Texas might see some snow. But this is where our first big, and this is what we wanted to talk about. There could be a potential nor'easter. So, um, let me just. That's going to be developing a potential nor'easter in New York. And let's go specifically to that region. And you can see here uh, New York, and eventually what we're beginning to see the first few days. So today and tomorrow, you see that beginning of mixing. So this is some sleet. This is sleet. This is some sleet and ice and snow. You're going to start seeing that transition period from where we go into cold into a very warm period. And by the way, this area needs it because we're seeing a lot of drought. There's been a lot of drought in this area and some wildfires that have developed in New Jersey, in New York. So it's not common for this area, but you're beginning to see that transition. So your first snowflakes could be dropping tomorrow. But as we close off, so let me just trash this. Yeah, clear all drawings. As we begin to move on, sorry about that. As we begin to move on, obviously, uh, snow begins to dry out. Then it converts to precipitation if you're in May. If you're in May, then once that happens, lingering snow. So let me just change that color back to a lighter blue. Lingering snow here, and eventually, the biggest point I want to get into is the actual nor'easter. So I put it there in the headline. The potential nor'easter that's coming in here, and that would be very beneficial. You can see a ton of rain by this is by Thanksgiving Day. So this is Thanksgiving Day, right? And you're seeing this pressure system, this low pressure system go off and move. And what's going to start happening is you see that interval. It's going to be 1,002 millibars. So this is going to be like the equivalent of a weak tropical storm when it comes to like millibar pressure wise. Big amounts of snow, some heavy amounts of snow if you're in Massachusetts, if you're in New York, uh, in not Delaware, in Connecticut. Those areas will be seeing a lot of snow, and that continues to linger off persistently for another few moments, another few hours. And as that system begins to develop, it'll go it'll go out and you get left with some rain if you're in Virginia. But notice how some snow starts coming in. Lake effect snow will be a very big deal, especially again. Okay, especially lake effect snow. Just watch, watch, watch. It's this area that gets hit by lake effect snow, and after that, pretty much we enter in which not much goes on. But let me just show you something. Let me show you the temperatures. It's been very warm in the East Coast, and I'm sure that if you live in the East Coast, you can agree with that. So right now, tonight, 40s. If you're in New York or New Jersey, 50s. Just a general, lower 40s, potentially higher 30s. Albany, New York, you could be seeing 41, 40, between 40 to 44 degrees. You can see that. New York, 50 degrees, pretty cold. What you're gonna start seeing is as we go into tomorrow, 30s, 20s if you're in Maine, if you're in New Hampshire or Rhode Island. Uh, so freezing at that point. Then you start seeing the temperatures rise because the humidity. This is where our biggest cool down will begin. So it's gonna be very cold here. 28 in Pennsylvania, 29, 29, uh, 30 degrees, pretty much in general. Northern Pennsylvania, central Pennsylvania, freezing. New York, for the most part, freezing. If you're in New York City, 39, that's still pretty cold. Um, 41, 42 if you're in Long Island. Um, so pretty cold. And then what begins to happen is you see that huge cool down, and there it is. So 26, 21, 25, 25, 29, 29, 30, 30, 36. Just freezing 20s everywhere. And eventually it'll cool down, but it gets even colder here. So watch. This is Sunday. So this is before the work week begins. So this is the day before work week begins. And your kids have to go to school. 8 degrees. In New York City, 34 degrees. So you'll be near freezing. In Massachusetts, southern Connecticut, or New Hampshire, southern New Hampshire into northern Massachusetts, 12, 11. But in New York, 8 degrees. 8 degrees. And it continues like that for a bit. And you actually notice here 10 degrees if you're like near Erie. Not, this is not Erie, sorry. If you're near, I don't know what areas could be in here. But just if you're in this area where the lakes are at, 15. If you're in Erie, 34. And then it gets much more widespread here. So you'll see here, go here. 7 degrees, so that's cold. And here, 5 degrees. So an Arctic invasion will be coming. And then after that, it gets warm again. Well, it's cool again. Check out the uh check out the Ohio Valley. So here's the Ohio Valley, and what you'll begin to see, big cool down on Tuesday. So most of Missouri will be at or below freezing. Illinois, same story for you. But it's not really until Thanksgiving Day, until the weekend, you see that big widespread margin of cold. And cold. So here, 32 in Nashville. Um, that's not Nashville. Oh wait, that is Nashville. What is that? Lexington? I need to start writing this. 32 here, 29 there. Chicago, 23, 20. Uh, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 25. Uh, all of these states will be below freezing. Will be below freezing. It will get even colder. You can see here in Iowa, 12 degrees, 10 degrees, generally very cold. And then we see a little bit of that warming, but it's still not enough. In the Appalachian valleys, so in Appalachia, general 7 degrees. That is a grim. number. So we go south towards Houston and towards Texas, and you'll see here, cold front begins to unleash itself tonight, and it'll try to move back up, and then we start waking up in those 40s. So we go back to Thanksgiving Day, and there it is. There it is. Cold weather, just in general. Dallas, you'll be waking up at 45, 41 degrees. 45, 41 degrees, you'll be waking up there. If you're in Oklahoma, you'll be freezing. So that's not good. But and this goes back to the original headline. So if someone behind the scenes can change that, uh, okay, they're working on it. Um, okay, so they're working at it. Uh, so you can see there, um, just very developing, very cold, and that's quite heavily concerning. Because again, the thing with Texas is it gets cold like this, but not this early. And I say early, but you know what I mean. It's not super, super early. McLaw says, great channel. Keep up the good work, you guys. Thank you. I think the team will appreciate that. And just here, it gets colder here on Sunday. So we've been talking about Sunday. Sunday's a very big day. Houston, 51 degrees. Corpus, 58. McAllen, or near McAllen, 59 degrees. So, and here, Dallas, 39. Amarillo, 29. El Paso, 45. So it's going to be very, very cold. More of the story is going to be very cold. Uh, New Mexico, I mean, we've ignored New Mexico. So we've ignored New Mexico just in general. Freezing. Sunday will be a very important, very crucial day. If the models keep trending the way that they're trending, it could be even colder than this. But in general, and look here, we're about to move on, by the way. We're about to move on towards, uh, actually, let's move on right now. Let's go to the southeast. Southeast, pretty interesting situation that's developing here. So wait for the GFS model to load up, and you can see cold front begins to move up. So the cold front begins to move in. And you can tell that this is a cold front because you can see that sharp change in temperatures, and it moves very linearly. Then we have the next shot, and you can see in the Panhandle of Florida, so 48, 50, 49. Now, of course, if you're in Miami or in the south of the archipelago or the peninsula, sorry, if we're in the peninsula, 60s, 70s, very decent, very cool temperatures. Eventually, and if you just caught this, this begins to change quite dramatically as well. In Alabama, Mississippi, Alabama, all of Alabama will be freezing, according to this model. According to the GFS, all of Alabama will be cold, freezing. Mississippi, just in general, Mississippi will be cold. I think this is Mem no. I think this is Jackson City, Mississippi. Hold on. Uh, apologies. Yeah, so yeah, this is Jackson, Mississippi. So Jackson, Mississippi, 36, and it pretty much gets even colder. 34 we're looking like, and it just keeps like that. And actually notice here, that stretch of cold goes all the way until like a county above Florida, above Florida, Tampa. Tampa will see that. So just a general rule of thumb, this is gonna be very, very cold pattern, and we're gonna be transitioning to that very cold pattern. So that's what you need to know. Um, and that's really it. for our coverage. We'll be right back with more. Stay tuned. So we're back. And let's just talk. Uh, we're gonna do this last minute, so we're gonna end the stream soon. Uh, but you're looking at live radar, and you are looking at, um, this is Utah. So you're looking at the Cedar City, Utah, radar, and you're gonna be seeing a lot of snow if you are in, if you're near Fremont, Teasdale, Boulder. You're seeing a very big band of snow, very deep as well. So not necessarily torrential, but it is pretty deep. Um, and we're gonna be transitioning soon, so that's it for that. Just the last few live looks at radars. Let's look at Santa Ana Mountain radar. Let's look at Los Angeles as well, so not much. Um, Looking at the radars here, let's go to the KBBX radar, and there's some rain and some snow, and that's going to be how it's looking like for a majority of those in the West Coast. A lot of rain, a lot of snow, and you'll see that transitioning to snow here. But just in general, a few storms moving up in towards Redding, going towards the mountains. So the mountains will be turning that into snow. That's gonna be a lot of snow. Um, but let me just uh, I need to find our closing theme. Well, this has been day one of our show. It could vary some days if the weather is serious. We'll go live for like a few hours just to talk about it. And now, if we do actual live coverage, actually, if we do live coverage, you'll see our red mode. But as of right now, that's not necessary. So you won't get to see it. Hope you guys like our new show, our new setup. We launch tomorrow. So we fully launch tomorrow with the full hour of coverage. Um, but yeah, that's going to be it for us here today at Disaster Central. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, which will be tomorrow, stay safe, sleep well, good night, and enjoy your break.